This idea of context engineering is a missing piece to this whole AI assisted coding thing that people need to scrub up on. So this is the part where I was going to riff off of context engineering. Have you heard about context engineering at all?
No.
And in fact, I commented on someone on LinkedIn just now. They put a post out saying that it's proven that AI assisted coding is actually slowing developers down. And I responded to that because of course I would, and said it would be interesting to see what methodology those developers employed to say they're doing AI assisted development. Because like a lot of people, myself included, when I approached AI assisted development, I kind of went in thinking, right, how can it help me write code? And auto completion was great. It's a great little start because it's helping me write code. But as we start to get into the more agentic stuff, we needed a new approach to write code using AI. We kind of got into taskmaster stuff where you create your product requirements document, you develop a list of tasks based on that, which is still very, very relevant. What it lacked, which is this idea of memories, and you've got the Gemini files and you've got the Claude files that you pepper throughout your code base to sort of give it context as to what it's working on and what it should do and how it should format things. So you're constructing a network of rules that can help the AI write code. And then this idea of context engineering is coming into play, which is basically there's a bunch of files that tell the AI how to format stuff. You just need a bunch of files that you can reference to say, implement this task, implement this feature using these rules. You're also giving it documentation that it should search as well, especially because LLMs are so behind on documentation. I still have a hard time getting LLMs to implement Tailwind 4 libraries. It's still trying to spin up things in Tailwind 3. So I need to tell it to use Tailwind 4. There's an MCP called Context 7, which you can get the most up-to-date documentation for these libraries on there. And then all this to say, this idea of context engineering is becoming the way to AI code. We're becoming the co-pilots and we're giving them all the information they need to be able to do what they need to do. And I want to share it, but not just yet because it's not complete. But I completely built my personal website using AI. I used Manus to do research on me. So it went off to my YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn, on my company, Jupiter in the Draft, did all this research and pulled together a wireframe and a plan for this website. I then built like a CMS powered website with it, and it's been brought together completely with AI assisted development. And to bring it back to context engineering, the actual coding part of it was so much quicker. I spent hours on stream trying to learn Taskmaster. And ultimately, I'll start to feel like, it's better if I just have files here or there. I was doing context engineering without it being defined. A lot of people were doing this. I'm not saying I'm trailblazing here, but like a lot of people were doing context engineering without actually doing context engineering. So the fact that I did all of this in probably less than a day, the actual development was actually really straightforward. And I'm really, really enjoying context engineering. And the way we develop is completely shifting, worrying less about the actual nitty gritty of the code and just being more high level thinking, being more of a manager, being more of a shepherd to the AI. The only thing that wasn't vibed, it was almost AI done, was my actual profile picture. I generated it and I think the profile picture looked fine, but the quality of the image wasn't there. So I just snapped a photo on this camera and then did all that. But that's the only thing. I look forward to sharing this whole this website with you. But like this idea of context engineering is a real the missing piece, I think, personally, to this whole AI assisted coding thing that people need to scrub up on.
This is part of a larger conversation on my show, Cmd+AI, which we stream live every single week. We discuss the news and all things related to AI in the world of design and web. Catch us next week and join in the banter.